everybody. This is Tom from Boss Dog Coin Rings here today. I'm going to show you how to take that state quarter coin ring that you just made and make it into something special. We're not going to make a 10-minute $10 coin ring. We're going to make something very special that everyone will be proud to wear. So let's get started. So you just made a coin ring, a state quarter coin ring, size 8.5. You folded it, you put it on the ring stretcher, size 8.5. Ready to ship, right? Wrong, wrong, fail, fail. This is what it looks like. It's still got that cone shape to it, that conical shape to it. You don't want one like you don't want something like that. You don't want to send something out with a pear shape like that look to it, or like that there. You've got to make it look like a conical type ring like this here. No cone shape. So what do? After you get it off the stretcher like this, a size 8.5, no, it's not ready to go. You want to size it up about another size and a half or 2 sizes bigger. You want a size 8.5, you put it on the ring stretcher till you get a 10.5. And then you take and you put it in your reducer. And then you reduce it to size. On the reeded side, you fold that reeded side in so the ring has a nice conical shape to it, like this right here, as compared to the pear look. Okay, that was number 1 fail. Number 2 fail, you get it off that ring stretcher, ready to ship. No, you still got that fire scale. You still got that fire scale on the ring. If you order an estate quarter coin ring, you want to be able to see the name of the state on there. Well, if you're going to send this ring out with the fire scale on it, you can't read that, or you can't read anything on there. So what do? You have to take the fire scale off, remove the fire scale. Now some people will leave the fire scale on, and they'll take a piece of steel wool and scratch it off like that. So you just scratch the top edges off. So now, even though the fire scale's on it, you've knocked the fire scale off the high edges of it. So now you can at least see some of the lettering on there. Okay, you can do it that way. I don't like to do that. I wouldn't like to get a ring that I paid money for with fire scale on. I want something nice. So first thing I do, after I size the ring, it's got a nice conical shape to it. It looks like a ring. I'm taking the fire scale off. A couple ways you can do that. One way is when you're making the ring originally and you're quenching it, you can make yourself a pickle bath. I use a crock pot and I heat it up, and I got 2 different kinds of pickle. I use citric acid pickle or Sporax number 2. These are both acid pickles. Now once you put it in a hot crock pot like this here, you get the water hot, you put it in there, and after you heat your ring up while you're folding it, I like to quench it in there, because when I quench it in there, it takes the fire scale off of it. If I quench it as compared to putting it in water, as soon as you heat that ring up and you quench it in water, the fire scale appears. If you use a pickle pot and put your Sporax or your citric acid pickle in, and you put it in there, the fire scale doesn't form on there as much as it would if you use regular water. So that's number 1. Number 2, you can do it that way. Leave the fire scale on. When you're done, drop the ring in your pickle pot, leave it in there for 15, 20 minutes or a half an hour, and then take your rings out all at once and then clean them all off. You can remove the fire scale then with a piece of steel wool, or you can put it on a wheel or a buffer and you can buff it all off. Or you can use a real light sandpaper, like a 2000 grit sandpaper, and that'll remove all the fire scale. So now we got the fire scale off. Now what I like to do, I want you to see the detail. I want you to be able to see the detail. When you get your ring, I want you to be able to look at this. Oh my gosh, look at there. There's a Nevada State quarter ring. I can see all the detail. Nevada, E Pluribus Union, 2006. I can see on the inside of it, $1/4. Everything, all the detail just pops. So the next thing we're going to do after we remove the fire scale, I'm going to put it on a wheel, a polishing wheel, and I'm going to polish it up to a high luster. And I've already gone to, and I've done that right here. I've got this ring polished to a high luster. You're going to say, why are you going to polish it to high luster? Well, now I can't see anything. It's so lustrous. I can't, the shine, you can't read anything off of. Well, this is what the reason I do that. I'm getting this ring polished up real good before I add my antique finish to it. I'm going to put an antique finish to this thing here. After I put the antique finish on there, I'm going to take one of these right here. It's a 4-way sanding block, and I'm going to hit the highlights to it like this here. And once I do that, I take all the ridges off here. The ring's polished underneath that antique finish. And when I do this here, it hits all the high spots and knocks off the antique finish, so you get something like this here that's polished underneath. And once you knock the high spots off of it, they're really shiny. They're really shiny. They really stand out. They really stand out like this here. Look how everything stands out there. It's all polished underneath there. Okay. These are some of the fails a lot of people make. Another fail is when you get ready to send that coin ring out, you take it off there. The cut edge. Don't forget to take care of that cut edge. You want to sand that cut edge and make it really look pretty. Like, see that sand that the copper really looks nice. And when you sand that cut edge and you sand down that reeded part a little bit, it brings out the copper tone to it. As you can see, it really looks nice with the copper tone, antique finish. Everything's highlighted, knocked off all the ridges there. It really looks like a nice ring. So that's what you do. Shine it up really good. Make it look conical. Get all the fire scale off of it. Put it on a polishing wheel. Polish it up as bright and lustrous as you can. Okay, some of the antique finish that I use liver of sulfur. You put a little bit of hot water, put a little bit of water in here, throw it in the microwave for about 1.5 to 2 minutes till you get it really nice and hot and boiling. Add a couple drops of liquid liver of sulfur. Stir it up. Drop your coin ring in there. Let it sit in there for about 1 minute or 2 minutes. Take it out. Let it dry. Now you've got a ring that's polished underneath your antique finish. Now, after you let it dry, then you take a piece of steel wool, go around the inside of the ring, get that antique finish off there, knocks off all the high spots, and you got something really nice in there where you can read every bit of lettering in there. Another thing you want to do is after that there, I like to put this on a wheel like this here. I use this right here. I put this block on here and I sand down that cut edge. Sand down that cut edge so it really looks beautiful. When you sand down that copper, it really looks gorgeous. Don't worry about the outside of the ring yet. We're gonna take care of the cut edge. We're gonna get that looking really beautiful, absolutely gorgeous till it really shines and pops. Then turn it over to the other side. Now do the reeded side. Get that reeded side really, really, really polished and really looking beautiful. If you have to, you can take some 2000 grit sandpaper, put that on there. Put your 2000 grit sandpaper on there. That'll really get it shining and popping. And then put your block on it. Until you really get it looking nice. Okay, now, you've got your antique finish on there. It's polished underneath with the antique on the outside. You've really shined up your reeded part. You've really shined up your cut edge part. Now the outside of the ring. Take your sanding block. I got the one that says remove ridges. So you take the remove ridges. Okay, right here where it says Nevada. I'm going to look at it, see where it says Nevada. I'm going to hit that like this here, right over the state of Nevada. And what I'm doing here is I'm removing the antique finish off the high spots of the ring. And don't forget, it's shined underneath there. So once you remove the high spots, like on Nevada or whatever state it is, or E pluribus unum. You can go all the way around, E pluribus unum. The date, everything else like that. Once you remove those high spots, it comes out like this. There's Nevada. You can see all the detail, the leaves, everything like that. 2006, E pluribus unum. All the detail is there. So now instead of looking, well, a lot of people say, oh, now you can see Nevada. See how it really pops out there? It really pops out. Okay, now you've done that. So now you've got this ring right here to this far. All the copper really shines there on the cut edge. All the copper is really shining here on the reeded part. It's cylindrical. It looks like a ring. It doesn't look like a cone or a pear shape. The detail is all on the inside there. Everything is beautiful. Now, after that is done, then you take your polishing cloth. Now you can use a little polishing fluid on here. The polishing is not going to take off the antique finish. You can use Flitz. Flitz is good. You can use Mother's Mag and aluminum polish. Or you can use a polishing rag. I like to use a polishing rag. I'll put a little dab of that on there. Here's my polishing rag. I'll put that on here and I'll shine this up with a polishing rag. Now remember, you've knocked it. It was polished before you put the antique finish on. You've knocked off all the high spots on it so you can read all the lettering. It really looks nice. Now when you do this, you're polishing those high spots where you've knocked off the antique finish, and now it's really gonna pop because now you've got the antique finish in the background and the high spots have all been knocked off with a sandpaper or the polishing bar. And now you're shining up those high spots that you knocked off. Don't forget it was polished underneath. Now you're shining all those high spots that you knocked off with the sanding bar, and they're really gonna pop looking nice, and you're gonna get something really beautiful like this. So there. This is no longer a 10-minute coin ring, 10-minute $10 coin ring. This is a half-hour, absolutely gorgeous coin ring that someone would really be proud to wear. All the detail is there. Look at how shiny that is and how beautiful that is. That's an absolutely beautiful piece of jewelry that someone would be very proud to wear. So I just showed you some of the fails and fixes. Now what I like to do after I do this here, this ring is basically ready to ship. I mean, that's absolutely gorgeous piece of jewelry. So what I like to do, because it is made of copper, there is a little bit of copper in there and it will tend to turn your finger green in certain instances. I put a little Protect-A-Clear on it. I dip the ring in the hair 2 or 3 times. You don't want to bake it because if you put it on and you try to bake it on, it'll turn like a gold color. So you just want to put it in there, naturally let it dry. It's like a fingernail polish. And it puts a protective sealing on it, and that really brings out the detail once you dip it in here. And then after I do that, I let it dry. Sometimes I'll either let the customer know, or sometimes I'll do that. I'll put a little bit of fingernail polish on the inside. Your finger will never turn green that way. And what a gorgeous piece of jewelry you're getting. Look how everything pops on that ring. Everything shines, all the detail pops. You want to be able to get, if you order a state quarter ring, you want to be able to get it, look at it and say, oh, look here, Wisconsin, California. Oh, I can see that. That's absolutely gorgeous. So there's a difference right there between a $10, 10-minute coin ring and something that you put a little bit of time into and really looks like a ring. That looks like a ring. It's absolutely gorgeous. The conical pear shape there, you're not going to like that. You can't read any of the detail. So there you go. There's the fixes and fails of making a coin ring. I hope you like this video. I'll make some more in the future. I hope you like it. If you like it and subscribe it. I'll leave a description. I'll leave my Etsy shop name in the description below if you want to order some of these rings. If you don't see anything you like in my shop, please message me. I'm sure I can fix you up. I've got all kinds of coin rings. I can make a coin ring out of just about anything. Right now, I don't do quarters a lot. I concentrate on dollar coin rings, like Morgan Silver dollar coin rings. And I do silver rounds and copper rounds and big challenge coins, stuff like that. But I thought I'd make this video and show you some of the fixes and fails of making a state quarter coin ring. I hope you like the video. And this is Tom from Boss Dog Coin Rings. And have a good day.